repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
We have been given a gift by God today to usher in a new dynasty.
Now you get RFK Jr.
Don't you want a president who's going to make America healthy again?
You get Tulsi Gabbard.
Putting our country in a continual state of war.
You get Elon Musk and you get J.D. Vance.
A hell of a way to start the next 4 years.
The right-wing Avengers.
We have an army of digital soldiers.
Department of Defense under Donald Trump will achieve peace through strength.
Shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one.
The rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others.
The golden age of America has most definitely begun.
Begin preparing the 30,000-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay.
They're getting the dirtbags off these streets.
There's one guy who can fix this shit, and it's Donald Trump.
What's storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
Thunder breaks, the ground is shaking from the weight. Voices crying in the night, but freedom burns a steady light. We hold the line, we won't let go. Through every trial, the truth will show. This is your daily dose. Open your eyes, see through the smoke, see through the lights. Rise from the silence, hear freedom's call. One voice, one people, united we stand tall.
Hearts awaken, chains undone. A new day breaks, the dawn has come. Through every battle, through the flame, our faith in God remains the same. The storm may rage, the night may fall, but hope will answer stronger than all.
This is your daily dose. Courage and fire, lifting the weak, lifting us higher. Not by the sword, but the truth we recall. Where we go, we've seen the darkness try to reign. We felt the sorrow, we've known the pain. But every trial has forged the steel. In God we trust, His plan is real.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Josh. Welcome to the Red Pill Project Daily Dose, live with you Monday through Friday. And it is Friday. I hope everybody is having a great start to their weekend. And we're kicking it off here right now, man, the Daily Dose. I had a busy day, really busy day. I am sore. My body hurts. I need a massage. Any massage therapists out there? I need a massage. But I hope everybody is doing well and getting a good start to the weekend. A few different things happening today, as you can tell from the title, Declassification and Disclosure. And, you know, if you go back a week, there's something interesting that was said. I said DNI Tulsi Gabbard will begin her declass in and around June 15th. I think it's June 12th. And it begun. And we hear about the 120 plus biolabs in Ukraine and around the world. Imagine that. Another conspiracy theory proven true. We're going to talk about that and much, much more here in a little bit. A few different things. I will get these out of the way just because we have to, right? I want to keep everybody updated on what's going on in the world and what's going on with the events that we have going on here at the Red Pill Project. Number one is we have some events coming up the next few months, and I hope that many of you guys can come out and join us for these events. If you did not know, I do two different shows with Badlands Media. I love those guys over there. They're freaking phenomenal. And this month, we had the Great American Restoration Tour. And this is tour number 12. This is my fourth. Chandler, Cocoa Beach, Nashville. This will be my fourth. So this would be number 12. This is my fourth. And this is in Deadwood, South Dakota. And John Harold, Chris Paul, Burning Bright, Zach Payne, G Money, Jordan Sather, CanCon, Alpha Warrior, Ashen America, Jonathan Drake, myself, JB White, Cam Kuski, Matt Trump, and Ghost-based Patrick Henry. And then I believe also Lieutenant General retired Stephen Quast will also be there. So this will be a great time. This is June 25th to June 28th this month. So hopefully to see all of you guys there. If you want to watch it virtually, there is virtual tickets available. And then the other event that we have is the annual Red Pill camping trip. This is going to be a blast. What I just ask of you, number one, is it's July 24th to July 26th. It's in Eureka, Missouri. That's just south of St. Louis. And you can bring RVs, tents, campers, recreational vehicles, whatever you want. All of the information is right here on redpills.tv, so you have all the information. But the one thing I do ask, it's free. You get yourself there, but it's completely free. There's no money needed or anything like that. But right here, please RSVP, please RSVP. Just put your name in, put your information in, how many people are coming, and then in the questions or notes, you can say, hey, I'm tentative, but I'm planning on being there, or maybe not. So you can do tentative in this as well. Just go ahead, please RSVP. I don't have the tallies for this week, but I think that we're over like 10, 15 people. So pretty cool there. RPG 3573, thanks for keeping us well informed, Josh. Thank you so much, RPG. Hopefully you can get out to Eureka. I would love to see you out there. She was out with us in Utah when we went to the camping trip out there, which was fantastic. And then on the other side of that is our sponsors, and you know, you got to help keep the Red Pill Project alive. Number one is if you want to become a sponsor, advertise with the Red Pill Project, or if you're a business and want to get some get your name out there a little bit, you can just email redpillstv@gmail.com, or just click this link right here and it'll take you over there. But Lifewave, if you don't know about X39, you should definitely check it out. Go on over to our sponsors page, check out our sponsors. The top three that we have here, we have Pet Club right here. Pet Club is freaking amazing. I just popped a whole bunch of pills before I came in here. I'm feeling a little under the weather. So I needed I got like a little upper respiratory happening, probably California, because I was there with all the toxic air. But it took a whole bunch of Coriolis Versicolor before I came in here. But then GOODBRU, obviously, Gabe, he will be back with us next week. And then Lifewave X39, check that out. Make sure you become a preferred customer when you go on over there. And then our last sponsor is Gratus. And if you have not met Gratus, Bob was on our show last week, and we had Jason on a few different times. You can go on over here and learn all about Gratus funds and what they do. They got an awesome real estate fund I want you guys to check out. Just talking to a friend about that today. You can find all the links there on redpills.tv. See, that was quick and painless. That was easy Easy peasy, guys. But I appreciate all of you guys supporting us through our sponsors and coming to our events and, subscribing. Oh, shit. Tonight, live Q&A after this show. So a few different things. Number one is you have Conversations on the Fringe tonight. That is Jeff and Nathan Waltz. Jeff's going to talk a little bit about his health journey with Nathan. And so that is tonight after this show. That will be going live on this channel. But also right after this show is the live Q&A. Live Q&A. And how do we get in on the live Q&A, Josh? Well, it's pretty easy. If you're on X, Substack, or YouTube, all you have to do is become a premium subscriber. $5.99 a month, boom. Check out the private chats in Substack or go to your subscriber post on X or YouTube, and you will see the link, which will be posted after this show. Also, you can go to locals.com or our private social network, socialredpill.com. Socialredpill.com. That's all linked up at redpills.tv, so you can go check that out there. But I hope to see a lot of you guys there. We've been getting a ton of people joining in on that, so that's awesome. Today, so we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Alex Jones comes out and says, I'm going to expose the whole Q operation. I know I was recruited into the Q operation. No, you weren't, Alex. Shut up. So I want you to listen to what Alex says here, and then I'm going to break this down for you because this is pretty interesting. And I want you to also notice a coordinated effort that is coming out by other podcasters in that same circle. Listen to this.
Right after the inauguration, 2017, and I'm not going to name names on these people, I'll name the big names. I get contacted by people I know that work in the White House, and they said, listen, we saw the trouble you're getting putting out the WikiLeaks. And I'm like, hey, we didn't put that out. We just covered it. No, we know that. But imagine if you could do that through like 4chan or 8chan, but also kind of add some treasure hunt to it, some game theory to it. That's what it is. It's Dungeons and Dragons, basically. That's what the Q stuff is. And then you don't get any of the heat or attacks, but then all this stuff we've got on them, we can feed out, and then you can boost it. Would you like to be involved? And I said, well, who's running this? I said, well, Trump knows, and Steve Bannon's managing it. And I said, okay, yeah, I'll meet with you. Months go by. Then I get a visit down here in Austin, Texas by some White House people. And they're like, yeah, you know, so we want to work with you, and you can boost the stuff, and you can have ideas and stories you're working on, but we can get it, add intel to it, and put it out and not have any of the heat. And I said, Anonymous has been out forever. It's a Guy Fawkes mask, and anybody can put it on. And people always ask, is Anonymous real? Well, it's just a guy in a Guy Fawkes mask. 1 billion people could be anonymous. It's just, it is anonymous. You never know who it really is, so you can't say is anonymous good or bad. It's whatever the person's saying, whoever's saying they're anonymous. I said, I've never worked with a party. I've never worked with an agency. This person's been in intelligence. I said, I'm sorry.
Quick note. Alex says he never worked for an agency. Keep that in mind. He's saying he never worked for the government at all.
I said, if you got some big story, you want me to boost it, I can vet it. I'll be happy to boost it, but I'm not getting involved. We need Steve Bannon to respond to this because I'm not letting the cat out of the bag. I don't give up confidences on something unless what's going on is illegal. So I need to be able to have these meetings with different groups and people, with my journalistic hat on. Because I almost talked about this in the last 6 months when all the Epstein stuff was coming out, because there is Bannon, there is Epstein, right when, they're starting the 4chan and the 8chan with the heads of it, and then right when they say we're going to be political now with this, right when Trump wins, and I was read in on this, not that Epstein was involved, but that...
Right there. Did you hear what Alex just said? I'm going to go back. Listen to what he says right here.
Because I'm not letting the cat out of the bag. I don't give up confidences on something unless what's going on is illegal. So I need to be able to have these meetings with different groups and people, with my journalistic hat on. Because I almost talked about this in the last 6 months when all the Epstein stuff was coming out, because there is Bannon, there is Epstein, right when, they're starting the 4chan and the 8chan with the heads of it, and then right when they say we're going to be political now with this, right when Trump wins, and I was read in on this, not that Epstein was involved, but...
Did you hear what he just said right there? I was read in. To
be political now with this, right when Trump wins, and I was read in on this, not that Epstein...
What were you read in on, Alex? And by the way, when do you get read into things? You get read into things when they are special access programs or highly classified information. And he repeats, I was read into things multiple times. See, the DOD, the intelligence agencies, the White House, the government, people within the White House are not going to go up to Alex Jones in a private conversation and read him into a classified project. But he's stating, I was read in. Well, who were you read in by? What were you read into specifically? Now, I have a lot to say about this. This is comical at the least. Those Dungeons and Dragons, it's a treasure hunt. The fuck is he talking about? I told the world Bannon was involved back in 2019, 2020. He was brought in for distribution and analytical controls. We know this. There's no way to run an operation than with good data. Think Cambridge Analytica. This is where that context comes in. Alex goes on to say that the Cicada operation back in 2014 was a part of this. It was a pre-Q operation. What? Firstly, Cicada was not a pre-Q operation. The NSA knows this for a fact, and their computers just tagged this podcast because the computers are listening to it. The National Security Agency knows that Cicada was not a pre-Q operation, because you can ask the NSA how the Tau migrated after Snowden, how the TAO migrated after. If anybody wants to just dig on this a little bit, go in there, type in TAO Snowden. Okay. How did they migrate after Snowden's release? Put it together. Wasn't a pre-Q operation. Alex discusses Q like it's Dungeons and Dragons. That is one of the most retarded things I've ever heard. It just goes to prove that Alex has never actually looked at the boards or read any Q posts. I've seen the Epstein file documents. I've yet to see anything that insinuates Epstein and Bannon were Q or hijacked it. So what he's talking about, and this comes from Kurt Metzger. By the way, Alex references Kurt Metzger on a podcast multiple times, and he talked to Kurt Metzger, and Kurt Metzger is confirming what Alex already knew. Kurt Metzger is a fucking comedian. Who gives a fuck what Kurt Metzger talks about? And I'll be happy to have a discussion with Kurt about this topic. So what you're getting is that Epstein and Bannon met with 4chan's founders in 2018, right before the migration to 8chan, so forth. Okay. Maybe they were trying to figure out who Q was. Maybe they were trying to get some more information. Maybe they were trying to hijack it, but couldn't get into it. I don't know. But none of that insinuates that Bannon hijacked the Q operation. What Alex missed is that Q wasn't just the boards on 4chan, 8chan, and 8kun. There is a lineage of events that predate it. The infiltration that he's talking about did happen. It absolutely happened. And it came through podcasters and influencers during and after that contorted the messaging and constructed a controlled narrative. Popcorn movies, sit back and don't do anything, Trump, CIC, all of this stuff. That's the PSYOP. Yesterday, Alex was talking about this, and the various different things that he referenced from Q were never discussed on the boards. So I have a question for Alex Jones. How does Alex keep saving InfoWars from inevitable failure? I mean, it was just a few weeks ago that InfoWars was being shut down again. Then all of a sudden, oh, we saved it. Oh, thank you, Judge. It's like a series of miracles over and over. But I also find it interesting that Alex Jones is coming out with this right now. Look, I respect Alex Jones for what he's done in the community for the very long time. I wouldn't say he was Q before Q. I think Q is something completely different. But with Alex Jones here, something's going on with him. This is he's turned on Trump completely. Not only is he turned on Trump, now he's attacking the administration and going after it. But it's interesting that at the same time, Candace and Tucker are also doing the same thing. Tucker was just on a Mario Newfall, and he calls out Dan Bongino here. Now, this is interesting because I would love to see Tucker's receipts on this matter, but listen to this.
I know that about Butler. I know that Trump shut down the investigation into Butler. That is a fact. Dan Bongino told me that when he worked at the FBI. And Dan Bongino himself was terrified when I spoke to him in December. It's such a long, boring story, but basically I came into possession, I beg your pardon, accidentally came into possession of a lot of the social media posts that we were told didn't exist that were posted by Thomas Crooks in them.
So a little bit of truth and a little bit of deception. Now, what's really interesting here is Dan Bongino responded today. And he responded with the fucking receipts, Tucker. Now, I'm not a big Dan Bongino.
I don't have any. He doesn't realize, like, I have these texts too. I never do this, but if you're going to refer to texts alleging we committed a crime, I'm going to put it out there. But first, let's address his 2 points. He says that the president shut down the Butler investigation. Totally, completely, 100% made up. But we did a full interview with Brooke Singman from Fox, which to all the people who, by the way, think Tucker's for real, if you think I'm doctoring any of this, please go look this article up yourself. Don't trust me, trust...
Okay, so I'm not going to listen to the whole thing, but Bongino calling out Tucker with receipts. So I'd love to see what receipts Tucker has. Because do I believe that Trump shut down the Butler investigation? The only way that I could see Trump shutting down the Butler investigation is if Israel was behind it. And I know that's what that this is what Tucker is insinuating, by the way, that Trump so think of what, okay, slow down, Josh. Constructed narrative. This is how psychological warfare operations operate, okay? They construct a narrative slowly over time. What do you have? Joe Kent, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, now Alex Jones. Everybody pointing to Israel. Israel runs the White House. Israel's in control. Netanyahu has Trump by the balls. Miriam Adelson is the one funding Trump. And Trump is compromised by Israel. All of this, right? Now what you get is Tucker just laid the groundwork for another drip in that arena, stating, well, Donald Trump covered up his own assassination attempt. Why would Tucker say that? Because the next thing that's going to drop is them coming out and stating that it was Israel behind the Thomas Crooks and the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt. This is what their narrative is going to start pointing towards probably in the next week or so. Because once Tucker is forced to go out there and provide receipts, he's going to shift the narrative with a big bomb like that. This, I don't know why. I like Tucker. I like Alex Jones, but I don't know why they're doing this because there's something off here. Now, another comment on Alex Jones. Alex Jones claims that Q was compromised exactly at the same time that Q turned on Alex Jones. The same time that Jerome Corsi and Mike Adams were putting QD codes behind a paywall, claiming that we have an inside person in the intelligence community named Q, and he's giving us all this intel, and you can pay $25 a month to get all of this information. That's why Q came out and said for the Patriots and the grifters and called out Alex Jones. So, Alex Jones also claims that they're about to come out with a new Q. They're about to revise Q. Do I believe it? No. I think that we've determined these comms pretty well over the course of the last year, that the boards are done and that the only boards that we have are the boards on social media with cross-correlation that happens between various different people. Okay. So I'm going to keep my eye on that. And yes, I would absolutely go on InfoWars with Alex Jones. I would talk to Kurt Metzger about all of this because I don't think that these people have ever read one fucking Q post, let alone lived it and went through all of it. But understand that there's a lot of things that happened before the Q boards. You know, I talk about Alpha a lot, and there's things that Alpha and I have been told, we know, we've been involved in, these types of things that, you know, you don't put out there. You secure your sources and everything like that. But I'm looking at this right now, just watching what Alex Jones, Tucker, and all these guys are doing, and they are constructing a fucking narrative for a psyop that they're going to drop. Something's happening. And Alex has always condemned Q, by the way, since Q attacked Alex. But this time it's a little different because he's naming names. Now, is Bannon going to come out and say, oh, yeah, I managed the whole operation? Bannon was only in the White House for, 4 or 5 months? Bannon left the White House before Q even started posting. Anyways, we're going to go into the next part of this show. Declassification, Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, man. Tulsi Gabbard is an absolute gem. I think she is an amazing human being. Jesus. Let's listen to what Tulsi Gabbard had to say today. Someone said Flynn and Bannon have the real info. I think Flynn has the real info. I can give you my thoughts on it. I think that the majority of the posts were actually written by Trump and Flynn. There you have it. But listen to this.
After months of searching through intelligence community holdings and files, today I'm releasing new evidence of long-standing U.S. government funding of more than 120 biolabs in over 30 countries. Now, these biolabs include labs in places like Ukraine, which could be at risk of compromise due to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. In fact, the intelligence community had previously warned that a U.S.-funded biolab in Ukraine likely housed dangerous pathogens and remained vulnerable to long-standing threats of Russian attack, seizure, or damage. Now, until now, evidence regarding the full existence and funding of these laboratories had been knowingly withheld from you, the American people. Many of these U.S. government-funded biolabs are currently or have previously engaged in research using hazardous and highly contagious pathogens, and in some cases included dangerous gain-of-function research with very little visibility or oversight. Now, President Trump clearly understands the serious threat dangerous gain-of-function research poses to the American people. And this is why he took decisive action over a year ago. On May 25th, 2025, he signed an executive order to end federal funding of gain-of-function research around the world. Here at ODNI, I issued new guidance to the intelligence community directing increased collection on these laboratories and facilities overseas. And we're already seeing the results of this increased collection. We're learning new details, for example, on clinical trials that are underway at these facilities and that are raising significant ethical, financial, and security concerns regarding the supposed public health initiatives and U.S. national security. Now, despite the obvious potential for catastrophic global impact that research on dangerous pathogens in biolabs can have, politicians and so-called health professionals like Dr. Fauci, as well as entities within the Biden administration's national security team, lied repeatedly to the American people about the existence of U.S.-funded and supported biolabs. Not only did they lie, they threatened those who attempted to expose the truth. So this release today breaks new ground, as the information surrounding the existence, history, locations, and funding of these U.S.-funded biolabs has been intentionally covered up by very powerful people who falsely claimed that these biolabs didn't exist. Now, they accuse anyone who says otherwise to be foreign assets and traitors to America. Now, ODNI will continue working closely with partners across the U.S. government to identify exactly where these labs are and what pathogens they contain to end dangerous gain-of-function research that threatens the health and well-being of the American people and people around the world.
the importance of everything that Tulsi Gabbard just said right there. Number one, she discussed how the Biden administration attacked people, reporters and researchers like myself and you guys out there, when we came out there talking about the biolabs in Ukraine. Number two, she talks about Trump is aware of this and has already put into motion the steps to end the gain-of-function research and basically go in and shut these labs down and destroy everything inside of them. Why is that important? Did DNI Tulsi Gabbard and Trump just rug pull the globalists on their next pandemic? Think about that for a second. Did they just rug pull the next pandemic? This is getting interesting. So, declassified report maps out the extensive secret U.S. network behind Ukrainian biolabs, dangerous gain-of-function research, and pathogen research. Things that we already knew. So the U.S. funded Ukrainian scientists to study the genomes of highly dangerous viruses inside biocontainment labs that were also paid for by the U.S. government. U.S. government agencies and contractors involved. Black & Veatch, major contractor, appears multiple times. CDC, USDA, and Metabiota. U.S. universities, University of Florida, Tennessee, Kansas State University, University of New Mexico, University of Alaska, Anchorage, and the Joint Genome Institute. Other partners, Helmholtz Center for Environmental Research, Orion, Sataso, OIC. Ukrainian entities, various Ukrainian research institutes, veterinarian labs, and universities. So let me just get right into this. Okay, so my buddy MJ True says, no fucking wonder Russia invaded Ukraine. It wasn't just a red line of NATO nor the 2014 U.S. coup in Ukraine. It was that plus Ukraine via dark money U.S. proxy hosting these deadly pathogens of war on their border. Man, it's like we go back 3 or 4 years on this show, and everything we were saying is being told here. So let me lay this out because I put a long post out there earlier. And let me wrap all this because this is the things. This just came out today. Nobody's talking about this part. You ready? During Russia's special military operation at the beginning of the war in Ukraine, one of the first things they did was to neutralize these biolabs. We talked about that. They went to Chernobyl, Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plants. They took out critical infrastructure, and they went to the 72 different biolabs operating in Ukraine, and then took the documents and flooded them out on the internet, which the U.S. government, Biden administration, came out and said were fake, Russian propaganda. No, they were fucking real. So they released massive documents. Reason being, the Eastern Donbass, which is kind of native Russian, was a testing ground for these labs. Putin in 2018 testified in front of the United Nations that biowarfare was being conducted on ethnic Russians in the Eastern Donbass. Over 14,600 people had been killed over a 6-year period of the various different violence and biological testing that had taken place by force through the 1st Mechanized Brigade, the Azov Battalion, which was the power arm for the various different biolabs. Do you want a rabbit hole on all this? Let's go down the rabbit hole. And a lot of this research, Blue Canary and Game Tech Politic are the ones that did a lot of this research. But Black & Veatch, the one that we named a little while ago, was a contractor for the Defense Intelligence Agency. Okay? Now, Black & Veatch originally got the contract for various different biolabs around the globe in 2008. This came off of the 9/11 bill that came out on biowarfare and bioterrorism in 2008. And Black & Veatch was one of the first through the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, DTRA, under the Defense Intelligence Agency to get a contract. And basically, they just managed this large contract and then kind of contracted it out throughout the rest of the globe. In Ukraine, they hired another company to manage pandemic response out of the biolabs, to research and manage pandemic response. Who was that company? That company was Metabiota. Now, Why is that name familiar? Well, who was one of the main financiers of the company named MetaBiota? Well, that just happens to be Rosemont Seneca. Wait, is that Hunter Biden's company? This was the same time Rosemont Seneca invested in MetaBiota in eastern Ukraine, in the Donbass region, right near Burisma, that Hunter Biden was on the board of directors of Burisma. Same time that Joe Biden's quid pro quo with the $1 billion being withheld to get Shokin removed so he wouldn't investigate Burisma. Why? Because it probably would have led to other things, including biolabs, CrowdStrike servers, all these types of things. Now, you ready for another rabbit hole? I posted this on my X, and not many people really captured onto it. Nathan Wolf is the founder of MetaBiota. He's the one that received the money from Rosemont Seneca. Just so happens that Nathan Wolf is all throughout the Epstein files circa 2014 and the 2018, and he was a good friend of Jeffrey Epstein. Understand how really important that was today that they're putting this out there. General Michael Flynn said, breaking Ukraine, what's really going on? Biolabs, trafficking, laundering, you name it. Ukraine is a crossroads of Europe, and U.S. taxpayers are being ripped off to the tune of billions with no clear end in sight. This is another war that has to end, and the U.S. needs to find a graceful exit. Prolonging this war has real potential to lead to a nuclear exchange. Let's listen to what he says right here.
What we're seeing in Ukraine is we're seeing a country that is, and everybody knows this now, there's no more hiding this. You know, so why is Ukraine so important? Well, it's a hub for human trafficking. It's a hub for specifically for child trafficking. It's a hub for narcotics trafficking. It's a hub for weapons trafficking.
Money laundering.
We know about our biolabs because Victoria Nuland said we had them there. I mean, we've always known that, but you know, that's stated now publicly. And there's a lot of money just flowing into this this country. And you say to yourself, where is this money going? And
is it money laundering? Is it money laundering?
I mean, you name it. You know, just this week, and it may not have come up on your screen, but I know you pay attention a lot. I mean, there's a couple of people. I think one of them is like somebody in the Ministry of Defense there, and it might be the Minister of Defense, or maybe somebody in his.
Okay, this is old, but he's talking about how they got caught laundering money. But going back into what General Flynn was talking about there. Ukraine is what I call autonomous zones. They operate kind of with impunity to the rest of the world. He said some very specifics there. You have biolabs operating and the kind of like the corridor that splits up Ukraine to the east and to the west. It is one of the human trafficking and child trafficking hubs of the world, separating between Russia and Europe, Eastern Europe. Now, why is that important? By the way, MetaBiota, Nathan Wolf, Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein procured DNA and children for biomedical research. Start to put it together. Massive amounts of money moves in and flows through various different Ukraine banks. They take in, a World Bank loan, and then that bank closes down. The Ukrainian people get the burden. This is how they laundered massive amounts of money. They stole U.S. funds, all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, what you actually have here is you have a place to where evil can occur, take place, be constructed. You can have off-the-grid science with absolutely no oversight taking place, and that's what was going on here. You can have money flow in, and nobody asks questions. You can have containers of children flow in, and nobody's going to ask questions when they This is what was going on in Ukraine. And Flynn says, we know this because Victoria Nuland admitted it. Yes, she did in front of the Senate, as well as DNI Tulsi Gabbard today declassified the information. General Flynn knows this. Does anybody know why General Flynn knows this? Anybody? Anybody care to take a guess? General Flynn left the Defense Intelligence Agency in August of 2014. The Defense Threat Reduction Agency operated directly underneath his command and control while he was head of the DIA. He knew about this. And now he's able to, but here's the thing. He's under non-disclosure agreements, classification agreements. He can't put that out there. But when he comes out and states that, hey, look, this is the DTRA is something that I operated out of DIA, and that we knew about these biolabs, but these biolabs are now being connected to human trafficking. And the one connection that's not being made in here is genetic experimentation and manipulation. That's the big part. And I told you it's going to take a while to lay the groundwork to break this to all the people out there. You can't just come out with the Epstein files and say this to everybody. Jenny Hud, thank you so much for your Rumble rant. And she did ask a question that goes back to our earlier conversation about Alex Jones. And this is actually something I think that it's worth looking into and discussing here. She said, Josh, could Tucker and Jones still be patriots with Trump? They are able to say what Trump can't say and sets up Israel and deep state to be exposed. I like where you're going with that. Is it possible that Alex, Tucker, Candace, all of these people are the counter narrative that are out there exposing truth, things that Trump can't come out and expose or say or anything like this because Trump's hands are tied within the political machine, but they expose it and they continuously expose it and they're working for Trump? Is that a possibility? I think that that's a good possibility. I'm not going to say yes or no. I'm going to say I think that that's a good possibility. Like I said, a lot of this don't make sense, and it's being operated like a psychological warfare operation. So very plausible. Trump called Netanyahu today with the words Netanyahu never wanted to hear. This is the deal. It's a great deal, and it's time to end this war. Trump's deal announcement caught Netanyahu by surprise. He's been calling allies in Washington just to learn what is in the negotiations. He's also just talking to the Mossad who are spying on this. But Netanyahu is being left out. He's being cut out of all of these talks and negotiations. He was spying on the delegates from the United States. You are going to see a divergence from Trump and Israel over the course of the next 6 months. I think that Netanyahu will be politically done over the course of the next 12 months. And I think that after that time, you're going to see a divergence of the U.S. and Israel. Quote me on that, 6 to 12 months. President Trump says that the deal terms that Iran leaked have nothing to do with the terms that we agreed to, and the Iranian leaders are very dishonorable people to deal with. I think that what Iran was doing is they were playing the psychological game with Donald Trump, the same thing that he's doing with them. But what we're finding is that this deal is wrapping up, and we can potentially hear more about this over the course of the next few days. So we will keep updated. But why does Trump want to end this so fast? I got reason to believe that Trump wants to end this very, very fast because the next phase is about to occur. We've talked about this at length. My thoughts is you are going to see a Maduro type of operation in Cuba, as well as I think that you're going to see a decapitation and annihilation of the cartels in South America, Central America, and Mexico. I think that over the course of the next 2 months, those things will happen. But it has to happen right after the Iran war is completed. So Cuba and cartels after Iran. Going to be fireworks for the 250th birthday year of the United States of America. So we have Jay Clayton coming in as the new DNI. MJ Truth found this goodie, and I wanted to share it with you guys here. So the June 20th, 4484 timestamp is SDNY, importance of SDNY control, jurisdiction, Wiener evidence collection, Clinton Foundation, Epstein evidence collection, Ukraine. Focus on the above for now. Watch New York City, the guard refusing to step down, POTUS refusal to formally nominate, appointed by post, SDNY judges, unusual, removal of acting. So interesting there. So what we have kind of in this post is an insinuation that Jay Clayton obviously is the one that indicted and prosecuting Maduro and the two other generals, which are whistleblowers. They are the ones that have all of the Epstein evidence, all of the Ukraine information, Clinton Foundation information, Wiener laptop information, and now he's going into the Director of National Intelligence. I want you to think about that for a second of how massive that is. And we're going to transition real fast here with a lot of different topics. I'm going to go ahead and play this one real quick. Just give me 1 second, though. I got to blow my nose. I'm dripping, people. I'm dripping. Okay, we're going to go ahead and read this one, and we're going to do a hard transition real quick. Give me 1 second to go ahead. We hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your money. Yes, it was. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of banks holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're in control. And if you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you've felt the problem. Now, fast forward to today, everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all of that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It all connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. And once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creator like me directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. Just in a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for letting me run that one. Oh, okay. I'm going to do what you're not supposed to do. All right. I think I'm good. The show must go on. Let's listen to this here. This is a good one.
Look, you're in California right now at the counting centers. What are you seeing on the ground?
I just left the ballot processing center. I'm on my way to Dean Logan's office in the City of Industry. So I pulled over to talk to you because this is a very serious situation. I have a second line where whistleblowers are calling me, telling me 16-year-old kids voted. Anybody could vote in this election. This election is 100% corrupted, and we need either a recount and or potentially a federal audit.
Look, you're in California.
That's from Corinne. I know Corinne. Corinne's a good human being, good reporter. So what she's saying, California ballot processing facilities are stating that ballots from 16-year-olds are being found at LA's recent elections. So you have the $2 being paid for the homeless people on death row. Then you have 16-year-olds, then probably illegal immigrants. Was this election stolen? Yes. And what comes next? Well, Spencer Pratt just dropped a massive video. I love this. Spencer Pratt is holding nothing back. Listen to this.
Now that the campaign portion of my mission to save Los Angeles is coming to a close and I'm moving on to the next, more interesting phase, listen, I've spent a lot of time slaying everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take the chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. You think you can get rid of me that easily? I know a lot of dim-witted jerks thought I was in this for a grift, that I was going to roll up and leave town if I didn't get into City Hall. It's just not fair. Hey, morons. I didn't get in this for political power. I got in this to expose this corrupt machine, and nothing has changed. You enjoy your worthless meetings in City Hall.
Nikki, you have all this information. You're running for mayor. Show what you're really about, or get the fuck out of the race.
I'm going to be lighting you up every single day, and now I don't have to worry about offending CNN viewers. I don't have a campaign laws hamstringing me now. It's war. It's 0 hour for Los Angeles. Angelinos are now stuck with two morons responsible for all their problems, and they have to choose between Dumb and Dumber. That's not a choice. That's the machine protecting the machine. And now every problem that plagues Los Angeles because of these two corrupt communists is going to accelerate, and the city will tumble headlong into the abyss. You have no idea how many major developers, hoteliers, business owners, entrepreneurs have been texting me saying they're packing up and leaving town. More of your favorite restaurants will be shuttering. That means less tax revenue. That means the city has to cut services, more potholes, less firefighters, less police patrols, more criminals, more drug addicts terrorizing your communities.
And we
haven't ended it. You have no idea how bad things are about to get for this city. Look at this place already. Weeds growing from every crack and crevice. Graffiti over every square inch of public space. Garbage, drugs, feces, burned up dogs, burned down towns, abandoned storefronts. This city is a mess, and you're about to reward the arsonist who torched a place with 4 more years of destruction?
I know he's very bitter.
My goal hasn't changed. I've been laser focused on stopping these commie animals, and I will stop them. If you think we uncovered a lot of fraud and evil in the campaign, just wait. We have some recordings of one of your exalted candidates doing and saying something that would make her resign in shame. I was saving it for the general election. Go ahead and pick your demon, certify your choice, and then you get to see it. So Karen Nithya, ask yourself, is it possible that one of your employees may have a recording of you doing or saying something that would force you to resign in disgrace? Hope you sleep well at night over the next 5 months, because you know who hasn't slept well at all for the last 17 months? My mom. All my neighbors in the Palisades. All the moms who worry about their kids walking past drug addicts in front of their schools. All the business owners getting crushed in the LA economy, worried that they can't stay in business and feed their kids. Angelinos have been struggling for years now, all while corrupt politicians and fraudulent NGOs profit off the misery and fleece us for the tax dollars. Well, now we're flipping the script. I want all of you awake at night sweating and worried about 5 a.m. when the FBI blazers bust in the door, breaking open your office, because I assure you, they're coming. You think your election was gonna stop me? If you want to stop me,
You're gonna have to fucking kill me!
Best Spencer Pratt ad ever. But what did he just say? He has a piece of information, a recorded conversation from one of the people very close to Rahman. And he says, hey, this is going to make you resign. Now, why is that important? What Spencer Pratt just did is he took the person who came in second place and he said, I have a piece of information on you, which is going to make you resign and drop out of the race. If she drops out of the race, guess who becomes the second candidate? Spencer Pratt. And I'm pretty sure he's going to do that. Now, lots of controversy happening right now on X about a few different photos. This one that were posted by Trump and immediately deleted. Yes, Trump posted these, immediately deleted it. Is it Trump or the White House? I've been asking for clarification. I've had like 4 people tell me Trump, 1 person tell me the White House. Either way, what the fuck is that? This is the Wraith from Stargate Atlantis. That's what that is. Or it's the Nordics. I don't know. But apparently Trump posted this and immediately deleted it. Now, this is going all over X. People are like, what the hell is this? What's going on? I don't know. Now, I thought I had found a solution, but apparently the solution that I thought it was bullshit. It was fake. So that means that a counter narrative is being construed. I don't know, guys. This is weird. A lot of people are saying like they're Nordics or who knows. I don't know. Former Brazil defense minister confirmed the 1996 Varginha UFO crash was real. A man who had direct access to classified systems and military archives. His words, the Varginha UFO crash happened. For 30 years, this was treated as a local legend. Now the man in Brazil's military is calling for full declassification. So James Fox made a documentary on it. You can go out and watch it. Apparently, the defense minister at the time said that all happened. It's real. At the same time, Trump's posting these photos of him in Nordics. Kind of interesting. The DOW, Department of War, released a third tranche of UFO documents, and they keep on getting better and better. It's like a slow drip, helping people kind of get ready for all of this. The CIA once translated a Soviet article claiming humans can project energy fields. One might say that the brain, even the entire body, is nothing more than a liquid crystal. It wasn't a CIA theory. In the document in 1978, CIA translation of a Soviet magazine article by researcher V. Sergeyev. It ended up obviously in the Stargate files that came out with the CIA. That was interesting. Now, the DOW released all different types of video evidence today And one of those videos is right here. And I think this is a plasma orb. Plasma orbs that were videotaped. Now, these look like Chinese lanterns. I'm not going to lie. They look like Chinese lanterns. But when you have a DOD, Department of Defense source put these out there as anomalous and saying that we don't know what they are, I don't know. You got to ask questions about this. Now, is that plasma orbs? Potentially. So July, the White House even posted this. This is the interesting thing. The White House wants you to see this stuff. In July 2025, in northeastern United States, an eyewitness observed an intense bright light in their backyard as they parked their car. Upon returning home from work, the light was hovering approximately 25 feet off the ground below a tree line near the center of their backyard. The center of the red sphere appeared to be white plasma sun about the size of a basketball. So these plasma orbs that you see right here, that we would say are Chinese lanterns, were witnessed before this just hovering over the ground. I've seen something very similar to those. 4th of July, 2013 at Morrow Ponds, at the gravel ponds in Western New York, near my hometown of Caledonia. We were at a 4th of July celebration, and there's a big pond there at the gravel ponds, and we're watching fireworks. And we saw these orbs, these orange glowing orbs come down from it looked like it was in space. You could see it coming in, and it came down to 10,000 foot ceiling. You could see this thing. They're glowing. And they had hovered over our fireworks celebration, and then they zipped off, took off upwards. I went out during that time, went to MUFON, had a few different contacts out there, and thousands of people across the United States reported the same incident that night. These same types of glowing orbs. Interesting. So the third tranche of documents was released. I find this really interesting. They are telling you without telling you, people. They are telling you without telling you. Look at this one. If you ever wanted confirmation, here it is. This is the Department of War Rapid Response account. From today's third release of UAP files under pursuit, the Director of Intelligence, U.S. Air Force, has informed the Navy Department that the cycle of reoccurrence of flying discs is becoming apparent and that the beginning of a new interval is imminent. They have requested that any such sightings be reported as quickly as possible and these phenomena be investigated. This 1948 document is a memorandum from the Commandant of the 5th Naval District, and it cites a memorandum related to flying discs from the Chief of Naval Operations. A memorandum requests that naval stations report incidents to the nearest Air Force Command and to the Naval District Intelligence Office. That's like confirmation if you were ever military. I love this. This is Acting Press Secretary Joel Valdez of the Department of War. In October 2024, at approximately 1851 local time in the northeastern United States, an eyewitness observed light source below the horizon hovering above a pond at an estimated distance of 2,700 feet. The luminous object resembled a plasma-like sphere, intermittently changing shape and luminosity. At times, the primary light source appeared to be separate into smaller luminous points. A luminous point below the primary source hovered just above the water and did not appear consistent with surface reflection. The object remained generally stationary for approximately 45 minutes before disappearing. The eyewitness did not hear any sound from the objects. The video was captured by a private citizen on an iPhone and subsequently analyzed and authenticated by the U.S. government. To protect the individual's privacy, the footage has been cropped. Part of the Privacy Protect measure, no edits, enhancements, or alterations have been made. And that's what this is right here. This is the Department of Defense coming out and telling you straight up that this stuff is very, very real. Now, why is the Department of Defense coming out and telling you this stuff is real? They are having a very, very hard time getting the technology back from Lockheed and these other companies. Not because they don't want to give it up, because there's controlling hands deep within the Pentagon and the bureaucracy of SAP, USAP, and WUSAP programs that are basically controlling the accessibility. So the U.S. military owns the technology, can take it back at any point in time, but the controlling figures aren't allowing that to happen. Now, what the Trump administration doing is putting out all of the evidence that they possibly can to get people up to date with that. Hey, this shit is real. These things fly. There's all different types of species, plasma species. There's reptilian, there's Nordics, all of this stuff. These stuff fly. They have a highly advanced technology. Getting people to change and shift their paradigm, because once that begins to occur, then they can have an easier time to go in there and grab this technology and bring it out. And one of the reasons they're bringing this technology out is because we're about to hit a mass technological advancement over the course of the next 20 years to where this technology will not be more advanced than us. It will be us. So it is time to start getting the people up to date with what is happening. And so this is why we have the drip disclosure happening there with all of that. Okay, guys. We're going to the live Q&A. So live Q&A, just become a premium subscriber. If you're on X, YouTube, Substack, all streaming there right now, just become a premium subscriber on any of those channels. And then after the show, I'm going to post in the decentralized media chat on Substack. I'll post on the premium chat on premium post and premium post on X, on YouTube and X. There'll be a link, and that link will get you into the live Q&A. For locals, if you're on locals, the link will be posted on locals as well. And then socialredpill.com, it'll be in the main feed. So I'm going to be heading over there. Conversations on the Fringe is coming up next. I'll get that posted in about 15 to 20 minutes. But we are in the midst of declassification and disclosure, people. It is happening. Like I've been saying for the longest time, we have one foot out the cleanup of the declassification, and then we have one foot in the new door. That's the disclosure of we are not alone in this universe or even on this planet, and things are about to get interesting. So you guys all have a great weekend. If I don't see you, I'll see some of you guys at the live Q&A, but have a great weekend. Drink a beer for me. I'm going to go put some lidocaine patches on my body because I'm in pain, and maybe drink a beer and play some Call of Duty after the live Q&A. So much love, respect, guys. God bless. Take care. Have a great night. And I will see you guys Sunday night on a Q after hours, and then Monday night on the Daily Dose. Much love. Good night.
There was a time when our children stood tall, hand on their hearts, one voice for all. There was a time when honor had weight, when the flag was a symbol, not a debate. There was a time when our history was known, with pride in the rules that made us our own. There was a time, respect for the brave, for those who bled, for the lives they gave. Now the homeland burns to silent war. Truth is twisted, we can't ignore. Voice still calls, we the people will not fall. There was a time, but the time isn't near. The great awakening is here. Dark to light, veil under, patriots rise. We are one, land of the free, home of the brave. No more silence, no more slaves. Answer the call, take back the fight. Children of freedom, stand for the light. There was a time when truth was clear, when the media served, not ruled by fear. There was a time when leaders stood fast, guarding the people, defending the past. corruption wears a crown, lies are fed to tear us down. But Q said watch and Q said see, the silent war will set us free. From the front lines, soldiers stare, wondering if we're still there. Their blood, their hope, their sacrifice will not be sold for a last prize. There was a time, but the time isn't near. The great awakening is here. Dark to light, the veil undone. Patriots rise, we are one. Land of the free, home of the brave. No more silence, no more slaves. Answer the call, take back the fight. Children of freedom, stand for the light.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on. Or we will spend our sunset years telling our children what it was once like in the United States where men were free.
There was a time, the time is near. The great awakening is here. Dark to light, veil undone. Patriots rise, we are one. Land of the free, home of the brave. No more silence, no more slaves. Answer the call, take back the fight. Children of freedom, stand for the light. There was a time, there was a time. Now is the time. Do it.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation. I want you to get mad.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
These people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy.
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!